I'll say this: I want my man to propose to me with a ring that he know I will like. Period.
Y'all go watch that clip because it's actually an interesting conversation. So there was a lot of key points in that little clip of their conversation about the ring. And here's a couple of things I want people to think about. One, when they're having these conversations, they are having them with when these women are in a different tax bracket and they're in a different arena with different men, right? They tend to be in an arena with men who have more or less money than them. Now, I don't know how much money they got, but let's just be real. They're in a different um, pool. Let's just say that. They're in a different pool. And so what happens is in these conversations is that you'll talk to these women and you'll ask them questions based on men in a different pool. And that's why these conversations have this friction between them because you're asking a woman who's around men who have money and they date men with money about men who have less money, men that they don't even date. And I just think that's an unfair conversation to have with that woman, if I'm gonna be honest. I think it's unfair because it paints this picture as if these women look down on men who don't have money, and that's not necessarily the case. They're just not in that arena with those men. So when she says she just wants her man to propose with a ring that she like, and I think that's all women, no matter the tax bracket, no matter the man, propose with something that she likes. The other thing is, um, when a woman really loves a man and wants to be with him, at the end of the day, the ring isn't going to necessarily matter, but it will show her a sign of what matters to that man. So if a woman is with a man that she know financially cannot afford a ring at the moment, she'll still marry him because it's not about the ring. It's about the marriage. It's about the covenant. It's about this man said he's going to be with me and only me. And let's just be real. Most women just want their man to themselves. And that man said he's going to marry her is giving her this gift of like, I'm going to be for you. Although there be infidelity, but that'd be a whole nother conversation. The other thing is the woman did talk about the tax bracket. The tax bracket matters. You cannot expect a man in a 50 to 60,000, 50 to even $100,000 tax bracket to buy a $300,000 ring. Like, that's just not even realistic. So tax brackets do matter. Now, if you're with a man who you know is a multi-millionaire and he buys you a $5,000 ring, you are gonna probably side eye him because, like, are we being for real right now? So I just think context matters. And I think that when we have these conversations, we need to be for real. A woman who dates men that are multimillionaires or are in these certain industries are not going to look at him as she would look at a man who has a 9 to 5. And to expect women who are around a different tax bracket of men to look at men who have 9 to 5s is just not even realistic. I think you are trying to make her feel bad about the arena she's in when she shouldn't. Anyways, my last point has nothing to do with this, but another conversation when the woman said if you make $50,000 as a man, you probably shouldn't date. You probably just shouldn't date her. Okay, there's a lot of women you probably shouldn't date because the mindset be crazy. But there is some validity to that because if a woman makes 100, 200,000 and she accumulates the debt of a person who makes 100, 200,000, the financial burden of her life could be too much for a man who makes 50,000. It doesn't mean she's not capable of loving him or that he's not capable of loving her, but the financial burden could be a lot to carry. And the reason why I say the financial burden could be a lot to carry is because when a man loves you, he tends to take on your burdens, right? He tends to see you and wants to take everything away. Like whatever is weighing you down, he wants to take that weight from you and put it on his shoulders. And a man who makes 50,000 may not be able to carry the weight of a $200,000 household. Now, I'm not saying that a man who makes 50,000 can't be with a woman who makes 200,000. They actually can, as long as their mindsets are right. And we have to be realistic. A lot of people mindsets aren't right. A lot of men will start to feel some type of resentment or to feel less as a man because he cannot carry all of that woman's weight, the weight of that woman. And that pressure can tend to crush him and make him feel less than. And these are real conversations that people have to have instead of trying to have these unrealistic conversations, if you get what I mean. Anyways, y'all do what y'all want to do. Be with who you want to be with. Just be happy. Be good to each other. Be true to each other. And baby, just remember at the end of the day, it is you and your house against the world, okay? That means you, your man, y'all children, whatever consists of your house, your dog, your cat, whatever it is, you and your partner should always be locked in because it is literally you guys against the world. And there is no space for you to be against each other.